Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I am here with Geeky Sparkles.
Hello.
And sorry to disappoint you all.
Not sorry.
Sorry to disappoint the shippers. Bucky Barnes, the Winter Soldier, is not by.
I never understood why they're assuming he is.
We're going to talk about that because there are several articles out there saying that Bucky is coded as being bi.
Oh my God. Coded as being bi just means I have personally decided that he's whatever, and it's going to be that way because I have decided such. That's what it means. When you say coded as anything, it means it's not that way, but I have decided it is, and I'm going to whine and scream on Twitter until I get what I want.
So I have to wonder, coded, is that like code word, like the code word, because he's in the, he's in the service back in World War II. The code word is wiener and bun.
No.
Wiener and bun.
No, it's coded.
Do you know what that means? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Say no more. Wiener and bun.
It's just, no, I'm just so tired of this. This so-and-so, these characters in Disney that are coded black, and Knuckles is coded black, and Sonic's was voiced by a black guy for years, but he's, but
he's
not
a white
coded.
kid.
Yeah, I know, it's just stupid. Take your shipping and shove it up your ass.
Well, they wanted more of that, and they're apparently not going to get it. We're going to talk about that and how this is probably going to lead to backlash or maybe bucklash. That might actually be one of the Bucky Barnes shipping terms.
We're going to get there.
We are going to get there. So, I think some of these studios are starting to wise up that you can't appease the shippers. At least, in the case of Marvel, some cases with Disney. Now, I think obviously cartoon shows are designed by shippers for shippers, like She-Ra.
Well, anymore, yeah. They weren't originally.
No, they were not. They were designed to just entertain, but now it's all about who is boinking who.
Even on a kid's show. You know what? Look, I am so tired, too, of the fact that you just cannot be friends with anybody of the same gender as you, or you're shipped together. Like, for whatever reason, these people cannot understand that you can actually be friends with somebody, same gender or not. You can be really close and be really, really good friends with somebody and not want to screw them. I'm just saying, it's totally possible. I had a friend that I was really, really close to, and I loved her dearly. And she was, I never ever thought, oh, geez, I need to get some of that. Not once.
I'm glad.
I also had another really good friend that I married, but that's another story. Don't even make
that?
I knew you were going to do it. I was going to say, don't make the stupid joke.
Who's
that? He always does that. It's your cousin. I don't know.
Oh God, no. No. Okay, so we're gonna get into that, not the Bucky thing, not the other thing. There's nothing going on there.
We're gonna get why Bucky isn't bucking.
Bucky only bucks one way.
Apparently.
I don't think Bucky gets much. He's like 100 and some years old. Anyway, we're going to talk about that before we get into it any further. Please subscribe to Clownfish TV for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. We're over 187,000 subs. We're kind of spicy over here.
Why?
Sometimes.
Because we say, hey, look, not all shipping's bad. I'm not going to say that it is, because there's a lot of people ship things in their mind, and they're like, I ship that. I would love for that to be the connection that is made. Everybody does that. Where it crosses the line is when you go on to social media and demand that your ship must be made because you have decided that somebody's coded away that other people totally don't see just because you're projecting.
Where it crosses the line is when you write an entire dissertation using flim-flam facts to support your theory that everybody who doesn't like your ship is somehow an alt-right troll.
Right, yes, this has happened.
So, anyway, canonically, Bucky is not bi. Now, there were some teases that he might be.
There weren't. I watched the show.
Well, not in the show, but I guess the director had made some comments. Like,
the director did.
You'll have to watch and see. You'll have to wait and see.
Wait, because the people were wondering if he was going to be bi.
Yes, they were asking.
Okay, that was...
Don't do that.
I watched the show and I didn't get that. I was like, oh, he hates him. Oh, they're friends. I never thought, oh, clearly he wants to, Sam wants to get some Bucky. I never got that,
So this is actually the most interesting thing about the show, because I thought it was boring AF. Like, okay. I tried watching it. I couldn't watch it.
Pig Royalty is a better show than Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Pig Royalty is a better show than 95% of what's on TV right now.
But I watched the whole thing. And my sister who watches Marvel shows, she's even like, it's boring.
It is boring.
Now the last episode did pick up a little bit, but then they lost me as soon as they started going down the agenda path, which she knew they were going to. And I was like, oh, for sake. 10 years ago, no one cared. Would you stop making issues that didn't, aren't still being a thing? And I was just like, no, I'm out. I was all about it. I was like, no, I can like this. I really like this. This is cool. At the very last episode. And then they lost me at the end. Didn't stick the landing.
Bucky didn't stick the landing?
No.
Where is he supposed to stick it? Okay. So you know what they're going to do at Marvel Comics, right? They're gonna make Winter Soldier canonically bisexual.
They'll do that.
They haven't done it already.
They've done it on the other characters to just shut people up.
Oh, they did it with Star-Lord.
Yeah,
to troll Chris Pratt. I think they made him bisexual just to be able to. They did it with Wolverine and Cyclops. I don't think they ever sealed the deal, but they implied heavily that there was some tension between the two, who historically in the comics, when they were good, the X-Men was actually good, and I read it, they hated each other.
Right.
Cyclops and Wolverine
That's not saying
hate each
that
other.
you can't have characters that aren't straight, but you don't keep taking characters that have been canonically straight and then changing them just because Twitter says so. I think everybody's sick of it, and everybody's also sick and tired of the fact you cannot be friends with anyone without people trying to say you're trying to sleep with them. It's getting ridiculous, and I'm sad for your friends.
Yeah, right. This is why men aren't very sensitive anymore. Because if you're close to any man, they're gonna.
Well, they do it to women too.
They do it to YouTubers, like real YouTubers. They were coming out, and I think it was it Jacksepticeye, and I want to say Markiplier. The people were like shipping them, and they're like, okay, this is effing weird.
And then they got in trouble. They got told they were phobic because they said asked people to stop shipping them together.
Yeah, they're both in relationships.
Because they're friends.
Because they're friends.
You know what? That doesn't make you phobic. You're just tired of here's how, I love this. You have to respect how people identify, respect their pronouns, respect their identities, unless they decide to ship you. And then they can just decide who you are. And they don't have to respect that, even when they're actually asking you, please don't do that. And then their answer is, that's because you're a phobe. It's like, no, it's because I don't want you shipping me with my friend. Thank you very much.
So, yeah, the director, was it Carrie Scogland?
I don't know. It's a very unfortunate name. Anyway,
Kari Scogland has debunked the theory the series premiere episode confirmed Bucky Barnes is bi. Fans have long speculated about Bucky's orientation in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, with many interpreting his relationship with Steve Rogers as being romantic.
Never got that.
I always got brothers. That's what I always got from that.
It's like they're brothers, yes. Because don't you know, every man wants to sleep with their own brother now, apparently.
Brother from another mother. Like, you can have a close male friend. Guys, believe it or not, especially in the military, okay? Guys actually have close male friends that is almost like a brotherhood, band of brothers.
Yeah, they don't want to sleep with them.
No, but they're close. Now, I always got that vibe from Steve and Bucky. I never got any romantic as a guy. Admittedly, my gaydar is broken, but I got that they were friends who were basically brothers that raised together, spent their childhood together. That's how it was. Nothing going on.
Right. I never got that from this either.
Except for that sex scene they threw in after credits.
Oh, yeah.
That threw me.
He's kidding.
Am I? Which cut did you see? Anyway, wait, that's not supposed to be there. Some even felt the Falcon and the Winter Soldier Episode 1 New World Order lent further credibility to this theory. In the scene where Bucky commented on seeing a lot of tiger photos on online dating sites, something he most likely would see on men's profiles.
Well, doesn't mean it doesn't pop up. No pun intended.
Well, see, if he didn't pop up, then
that's the problem.
Yeah. Early on, Falcon and Winter Soldier showrunner Malcolm Spellman seemed to indicate the show might address the idea of Bucky being bi. Okay, so it was a showrunner saying, I'm not diving down rabbit holes, but keep watching.
Basically, I'm trying to bait people to keep watching. So people were watching the show only to see if Bucky was bi. I'm like, is that how you try to... Wait, so that's why you had any ratings at all?
Is that it? They're like, who's Bucky gonna suck this week? Anyway, yeah, because look, the show's boring as hell. I'm sorry if you like it. I didn't watch all of it. You sat through all of it. Mm-hmm. I was one episode in. I'm like, and look, I get a lot of people have varying opinions on the political angle of it. You were dealing with Captain America. It's going to get political, right? I don't give a shit about that. I watched one episode and I was bored. And that's one thing you should never be with a Marvel show or movie is bored. Mm-hmm. The only other Marvel movies that I completely bored off my ass, Thor, second Thor, Dark World, was boring as hell.
Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel. Actually, I would say Captain Marvel objectively was better than Dark World.
Yeah, I agree with you.
And Iron Man 2. Iron Man 2 bored me.
I was bored. I watched it because I thought, well, I can't really talk about this. I watch it. It's my job. It was boring. I was like, I had to make myself get through it.
Yeah. So here we go.
And I never thought I'd come out the other end being discussing whether or not he was bi, because I never got that in any time.
So they're talking about the tiger photos. He's like, I think we just thought of it as an oddity of the times because he's confused by it. There was a joke like that in the very adult Muppet reboot, where Fozzie Bear was talking about all the. He put a personal ad out there looking, Bear looking for companionship or something like that, and he's like, oh my God, the pictures I got,
Yeah.
kind of thing. I forget the joke exactly, but basically the joke being. Bears are furry men. I don't know what a tiger is.
I have no idea.
I don't go on sites like that. I don't know.
But
people are going to tell us in the comments.
They seem to think he was confused by it because he's
106.
Yeah,
he's 106. He's probably confused by a lot. What we were really trying to display was his complete lack of technical skills, as well as being part of any kind of community. He doesn't fit. So that's what I think our intention was there, trying to point that out rather than any one particular affinity.
I got more that he, like the lone wolf, that kind of, well, he's the white wolf, lone wolf.
Yeah.
And I got that, he was, has a lot of emotional baggage, that he's broke free, but now he's got to try to, he's still not completely free because he's having nightmares and he's got to make amends and he's got to try to move forward. And the idea of him being upset about the shield was because, if Captain America, Steve Rogers, Captain America, was wrong about giving it to Sam, then that meant he was wrong about him too, and he didn't like the idea of, because that's all he had left was of his friend, and everything he knew was the shield. So he's like, there's a lot of connections to that, but I didn't get, but I'm hot for Steve, or I'm hot for Sam, or whoever the hell else you throw my way.
I want to be his shield.
He was flirting with Sam's sister.
Yeah, right? So yeah, it said in episode 2, the two engage in intimate therapy session.
They do. And I didn't give any other than, hey, you guys aren't, it's like, you ever see the siblings when they fight, they put them in the shirt together, the t-shirt together. It was kind of like that.
Did they do something like that in Lethal Weapon too? I never got the vibe that they were hot for each other.
Well, clearly they wanted to do each other. We just didn't know it. Oh wait, that was back before people were insane.
It's really love, right? Said Skoglund. They love each other at the end. They don't love each other at the beginning, but they come to a friendship place where they tolerate each other. I would say the same place Luke and Han are on DeviantArt. All over the place, I'm sure.
It was more like they're partners, they're friends. They even make the joke at the end. They're not partners, but they're and
two guys.
Yeah, it's guys. Like they're just they're friends and they get along and they have an understanding and they're just good friends. And I never got we're just two guys who want to get it on. Not once, especially not out of Sam.
Yeah, it's really just affection. She said she's completely fluid when it comes to love. I'm not sensitive to masculinity as any kind of barrier between love.
Why would it be?
How it should manifest. It's not sexual tension. It's like, we're dudes. Like, remember buddy cop movies? Speaking of...
That's what it reminded me of. It reminded me of buddy cop movies, buddy cop TV shows. Like a 70s show, honestly. Like a...
Starsky and Hutch. They weren't,
It reminded me of that, honestly. Like almost like a 70s type buddy cop, show.
Yeah, like they're not. I don't. That's gone. That's like the thing too. Like everybody talks about how toxic masculinity is, but part of the masculinity is that guys actually do bond. They actually form close friendships. And no, there's no hanky panky going on.
Right, but that's the toxic part because if there's no hanky panky going on, then you're just toxic men.
You're toxic men.
You're only allowed to be men and have masculinity if you're screwing each other. Which, is fine for the guys that are into that, and that's the way that they identify, all more power to you. But, like, these shippers keep wanting to project things onto people or characters that aren't that way, just to make sure that they, get what they want out of it.
Feel validated. Believe it or not, I hate to break it to people. You can have people of different sexual orientations be very good friends with one another and not be in a relationship like that. You can actually have a gay man and a straight man be in a very close friendship type relationship and not actually want to sleep
Same with women. Or you could even be a guy and be friends with a woman or, and not want to sleep with her. I mean, your spouse or girlfriend or boyfriend, depending, might not appreciate it too much, but you can be really close to somebody and not want to sleep with them. It is completely possible.
Adulting is hard.
Oh my God.
It's
Because
so
it's all
hard.
about who I'm going to sleep with next. And my next question is, what's wrong with these people that every time they see a show of any character ever, they have to ship them, and then that in their head is the way it has to be. Is somebody going to get needles and cookies or something now?
I'm just like, where, look, they talk about toxic fandoms too. And I'm like, where are we in the fandom that is people's default go-to? When I was younger, nobody really ever gave any thought to who cartoon characters and comic book characters were fucking, okay? Now that's all they think about.
Yeah, I mean, and we're talking like kids shows. They were
shows.
mad because people didn't have different sexual identities on, was it Bluey?
Bluey.
I'm like, are you effing kidding me?
Yeah, I'm like, what? I mean, what? Okay, so, I mean, this is coming after we found this article from a couple months
We
ago.
know this is the thing.
Yeah, or no, it was earlier this month. Coming from Comics Beat. The MCU doesn't know what to do with Bucky's queer coding.
Never got queer coding out of Bucky.
And enough is enough. Enough is enough. It's the audience is being queer baited, which I knew that was going to happen. That's the next thing. What's going to happen now that they've come out and said canonically, no, Bucky's not bi. They're just friends. There's going to be backlash, and we're going to see all these articles on like the Mary Sue and, oh my God, Disney, Marvel, stop queer baiting. Stop it.
Yeah.
You got our hopes up.
They haven't. I'm sorry. And if you're inserting this in there, that's you inserting it in there. They did have that part where he was on top of him. And okay, I will say, if the showrunner was making those comments, he did put some scenes in there that could have been, taken that way.
It's the bait. It's the bait.
And in that regard, that was douchey. You shouldn't do that to people.
Yeah.
But,
just a couple of weeks ago, the lead writer of the series said, just keep watching. Well, those hopes are dashed. Mm-hmm. And then you get all the way down the bottom here. Enough is enough. It seems like the MCU can't decide whether or not wants Bucky Barnes to be read as queer and whether they want him to be seen as a victim or a villain. With only 3 episodes left, it seems unlikely that canonically bisexual queer Bucky could be handled in any meaningful way.
Handled.
Given all the other storylines and characters that need to be addressed. Oh my God, they can't make his sex life front and center in an action show.
I know, right? And it's like, okay, the whole, I never get the whole queer thing. I don't even know where you guys are pulling this from, other than the fact that the showrunner made some jokes. I don't see it. But as far as the victim or villain, well, I think he's a little bit of both. That's the point. And he's trying to undo. He was programmed. He was not willingly the villain. And he's trying to change that.
I think, isn't that the bigger issue?
Yes.
That he has to deal with? Is that he was used as a killing machine to kill people against his will, and he's got to deal with the guilt of that?
And your takeaway is, why isn't he sticking his Winky and Sam? I mean, seriously?
Come on. Like, these are your priorities. Like, that's a big soul-crushing existential crisis to be used as a killing machine and to have a freaking notebook full of people you've wronged. I mean, that's horrible.
But no, the internet's going to worry about whether or not he was in love with, he's a Captain America fetish, be it Steve Rogers or Sam Wilson.
God, yeah, this is my feeling. What a stupid, whiny article.
Amen.
Jesus, what did I just read? But then we've got somebody else, N. Stark. I've read this article. I don't know. Excellent, well written. Thank you for writing out what we're all thinking. No,
we're not.
We're not.
We're not all thinking it. And given by the comments, most people are not thinking this.
We're not thinking it. Nobody's thinking this.
But apparently, though, how very selfish of them. Because as it turns out, you can ship Bucky with a lot of people or animals. It's not just him being shipped with Steve Rogers and Sam.
I didn't know this until today. There is a shipping wiki, shipping.fandom.
Oh, I did know this.
.com, where all the ships are listed in the names of the ships because we have to give them names.
Right, and there is a lot of them. So we're going to have a good old laugh at all the ships. And my next question is, what about the people who didn't get those ships? Where are their articles complaining?
So here are the ships. So in heterosexual relationships, we got some characters here. Sharon Carter, Bucky Sharon.
Oh, Bucky Sarah, because it's Sam's sister.
Yeah. Caroline Forbes is Carol Lucky.
Carol Lucky, okay.
Winter Carter. It's Peggy Carter and Bucky.
Okay.
Winter Science is Jane Foster and Bucky. Winter Shock is Darcy Lewis and Bucky. Winter Widow is Natasha and Bucky. Winter Witch is Wanda and Bucky. Winter Underwood is Bucky and Dottie Underwood. Now here's where it gets fun. Slash. These are like off the beaten path relationships.
Like the other ones weren't.
Bucket.
I love this one.
Bucket. The ship between Bucky and Rocket Raccoon is Bucket.
God.
Is it willing, or is he just a trash panda? Get over here, trash panda.
Howkey, the ship between Bucky and Howard Stark.
Iron Winter. Tony Stark and Bucky. Oh my God. Who else we have? Sam Bucky. That's it.
Stucky.
No, I would have called this Sucky. Sam Bucky. That's no. Well, he's Falcon, so you could call it Fucky.
I guess you could. Because he is now. Stucky is between Bucky and Steve Rogers. Stucky.
This is the best one.
To Chucky.
Chucky.
T'Challa.
The ship between Bucky and T'Challa. Winter Hawk. Clint Barton and Bucky. That sounds like a username. Winter Spider. It's Peter Parker and
Oh, that's just wrong. This
Bucky.
is all wrong.
Non-binary. Winter Frost. Bucky and Loki.
Okay.
Because he's part frost giant in the MCU. Polly. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Oh, this is
Oh my God. Here we go. Bird Husbands. Bucky, Sam, Joaquin Torres. Cap Quartet. Bucky, Steve, Natasha, and Sam.
Oh my God.
Roger Winterbones. Bucky, Steve, and Brock Rumlow. Sam Bucket Nat.
Bucky Nat.
Bucky Nat. Bucky, Sam, and Natasha. Sam Bucky Sharon. Self-explanatory. Sam Bucky Sharon Zemo. Sam Steve Bucky. Stacconi. Bucky, Steve, and Tony.
Oh my.
They're working out their Civil War differences. Thor, Sam Bucky. What about Thucky? Bucky, Thor, and Sam. Tustuckany. T'Challa, Steve, and Tony.
I can't even.
Winter Hawkingbird. Bucky, Clint, and Bobby. Winter Iron Falcon. Bucky, Tony Stark, and Sam. God, this is like
You get the
Steven
idea.
Universe. It's like
Winter Taser Wings. Bucky, Darcy Lewis, and Sam Wilson.
Winter Taser Wings.
World War Threesome. Bucky, Steve
World
Rogers.
War Threesome.
Bucky, Steve Rogers, and Peggy Carter. I'm not reading all of these.
World War Threesome.
I
Make it canon.
So I'm like, how is it fair if they give you your ship when there are all these other people with ships? They are getting their ships. I can't even.
Sorry, shippers. Sorry, shippers.
At the end of the day, he's not. He might ship with some of the women, but he's not gonna ship with the dudes. I'm sorry, and I doubt Rocket Raccoon.
God, that would be weird. Are we gonna wrap this up?
Yeah.
All right, so please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, rants, and other things such as this. We'll talk to you guys later.
Bye.